Hello music lovers, Andy Wood here, and today we're going to talk about the B-Bender guitar, its history, what it does, and what it is. Roll it. First things first, let's hear the B-Bender in action. Alright, cool. So you heard some country licks, some pedal steel stuff, and even some Led Zeppelin riffage. The B-Bender is basically a contraption in the guitar that allows you to emulate steel guitar sounds by pulling on the strap, which in turn moves springs and levers to raise the B string one whole step. That's the average. Some people change that, but the whole step is really what you want when you're looking to use a B-Bender. This is my Fender B-Bender guitar. I want to tell you the history about this guitar and what it means to me. So this Telecaster here was my first real professional guitar. Some interesting facts about this guitar. I bought it from Rick's Music and Sound when I was probably 17 or 18. Actually, when I say I bought it, my dad bought it for me. I ordered it in white, and it came in black, and it played good, so I didn't want to send it back. I was obsessed with Brent Mason and Jimmy Olander, the Telecasters, all that kind of music, so I wanted a B-Bender. The reason it has a checkerboard pickguard is not because of my love affair with Cheap Trick. It's more about my love affair with Diamond Rio. Jimmy Olander had a yellow Telecaster, and he had a checkerboard pickguard, and he was one of my heroes, so I wanted to put the checkerboard on mine, kind of race car theme. And the pickup selection is the Brent Mason setup. It's the classic 2.5 bridge pickup from Seymour Duncan, a classic stack, I believe, in the middle, and then the mini humbucker in the neck. Okay, so on to the neck of this guitar. So this is not the original neck. This is the original neck. The fine folks at Fender helped me replace this neck. They got it to my friend Dave Graff, who is in Nashville. He's tech to the stars, one of the greatest in the game, and he did the repairs on this guitar. Like I said, this was my first guitar, and it had been really played and had been refretted several times. I replaced the nut at one point, and so I was going to refret it again because this size wasn't feeling that great. And Dave told me that if he pulls the frets out, there's going to be nothing left for him to hang on to. So he suggested reaching out to Fender and getting another neck. They supplied this beautiful neck, roasted maple, and it's a fretboard radius and size that's very similar to my Sir's. And that's the reason this is probably one of the few guitars that I play that's not a Sir. This guitar is sentimental, obviously. I won Guitar-mageddon, the Guitar Center contest, when I was 21 or 22. Won it on this guitar. And this guitar just means a lot to me. It's probably got more mileage than any other guitar I got. Now let's get on to what makes it really crazy. This guy right here is just a hint at what lies beneath the hood, which is all of this mess. This is the back of a Fender Nashville Tele B-Bender. This one is called the Parsons Green Bender. Here's the deal with the bender. You pull the strap, if you can see the mechanism right there, you pull the strap and it raises the pitch of the B string, right? So here it is in action. You have to put the strap on. Reach up here and grab me a pick. So we're going to hear an A chord. Now let's hear it. So as you can see, when I pull down, it raises the pitch of the B string. Okay, now some history for you regarding the B bender. The B bender was invented by Clarence White and Gene Parsons. Hey guys, all right, we're going to take a quick time out here. I want to let you know a couple of things. The Parsons White bender is not the first bender. However, it's the one that's the most perfected. Previously to that, there were bender designs and pull string designs that involved levers and different contraptions. I'm not going to talk about those because I really want to focus on the Parsons bender. It's the one that is the industry standard, right? It's kind of like there were electric guitars and then there were like Fender and Gibson, right? So it's like that kind of thing. If you want a full history lesson on all the different pull string devices that were being used prior to Clarence White's B-bender guitar, then jump over to Ask Zach's channel on YouTube. He's got a really great video. He goes into detail about all the different styles of benders that predated the Clarence White bender. All right, back to the show. However, the original version is the Clarence White Gene Parsons. So both of those guys played in the Byrds. Clarence White had a very famous mandolin player for a brother, Roland White, and he played in various bluegrass ensembles. If you're a mandolin player, you obviously know who Roland White is, but if not, check him out. Clarence and Gene played together in the Byrds. They invented this contraption, or a variant of, and that guitar was Clarence's guitar. It's a brown sunburst Telecaster that now resides with Marty Stewart. There's a really great video on YouTube of Marty talking about the B-bender with Clarence's guitar, and it's on Fender's page. You should check it out. Now, on to any other B-benders that I've played. Now, John Suhr has built two. Originally, he built a blonde butterscotch that was like a prototype, and he had a bender in it that was this style. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, that bender ended up in a very special anniversary style Navajo-looking Telecaster that he built. Outside of that, he's not built anymore. I'm trying to talk him into it. I think it's really awesome. I think it's a neat contraption. So let's talk about some iconic bending moments. You definitely got to hit Meet in the Middle, Jimmy Olander, Diamond Rio, Love a Little Stronger. And for that matter, basically any Diamond Rio tune has some great bender guitar playing on it. For some great bender action, hit up Marty Stewart, as he owns the original bender. Also of note, Jimmy Page used a B-bender on All of My Love. That's where some of those interesting little bender things happen. Quick time out. I know you guys are going to go crazy in the comments for me not listing all the various types of bender players there have been. There's been Ricky Skaggs, Will Ray, Steve Warner. There's a ton. I'm just trying to get you guys started. All right, now back to the show. The B-bender made its way from Clarence White's more southern style beginnings all the way to heavy metal. The B-bender makes an appearance on Metallica's hit Unforgiven 2. So if you want to go back and check that song out, all of those little bending western cowboy type things, they were all because of the B-bender. And then, of course, there's variants of the bender. The bender has made its way to other string sets. Like I said, you pull the strap and it moves this little wheel through a series of springs on the back, and it raises the pitch of the B string up a whole step. That has made its way to other strings. Brad Paisley has a G-bender on his guitars. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's got the McVeigh version, which is very similar to the Joe Glazer version. These names, Joe Glazer is a legendary luthier in Nashville, Tennessee, and did kind of everybody's benders at some point in time. He did a Tom Anderson that I had that had a Glazer bender in it. He did that one. It was really great. The only thing I didn't like was the Tom Anderson itself. I ordered and spec'd out to be very modern, and I was kind of upset that it didn't sound traditional, but it had, chambering and a flame top and all this stuff. And the mistakes of youth, I didn't realize that just a good old hunk of swamp ash and a piece of maple is what makes a tele sound really great. So next up, let me just show you a couple of B-bender tricks in case you ever come across one of these in the wild. You can pick it up and have at it. All right, guys, so keep an eye on the strap. I've got a hoodie on because it can kind of buffer that thing coming at you. If you pull it too hard, you might hear some clicks, some springs. I actually need to go in here and put some lubrications on this thing, but just check out how this moves. So first things first, when you put one on, just pull the neck down and you'll hear that B string go to a C sharp. Play an A sus chord with an E, A, and an open B, and then pull it down. That'll give you 2 to 3. Let's fire off a couple of little licks. So we're going to play key of G right here. I'm going to take the second and bend it up to a third while holding the fifth in my pinky. And then release to G. Okay, a variant of that will be pull the neck down while it's held, play the fourth into the fifth, then play the held note, release it, and hit the root like this. One more time. Pull, fourth, fifth, release, root. You can play seventh chords and bend them up to the root. You can play this rock and roll G shape right here and get a 6/9. You can do a lot of really, really clever things with this. You can also use it to play a sus chord, use some harmonics, and bend it up like that. All right, here's one of my favorite bender intros from Jimmy Olander. I think that's beautiful, that's timeless, and to this day you can play that in any country bar in America and people are going to recognize that song. That's Meet in the Middle by Diamond Rio. It's played out of key of E, and we're going to play fifth and root right there. Bend it, release it. Here's where it gets tricky. Now we're going to play open B, C sharp, open E, like that. And then we're going to put our third finger down and bend up to the third of the chord. So third finger to the third of the chord. Back up to E. Release the B. So here we go. One of my favorite ones, right? So here's that All of My Love. This is how I was doing it. Now, obviously, Jimmy doesn't play the melody line on the bender. He's just doing more of these kind of things. Those kind of licks, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to play the chorus, which is the C section. Right? It sits over that. So we're going to bend up playing a C minor shape, but it's not going to sound like a C minor. Remember, it's going to be that voicing. It's going to sound like this. See? So we're going to hold it, take the middle finger off, and we're going to make a sus chord. Drop it, bend it back up. And then we're going to move our root down to a major 7, do the same thing again. So here's the first part. Second part. And then just play an A minor with it bent, pre-bent already. To an F. And when I'm doing that, the advantage of the B bender is I can bend a chord, move my hand while it's bent, then release that chord. For example, here's some F. Bent, release, bend it up, release, bend it up, pre-bend. So you can do all kinds of really cool, slick stuff in there. One more little tip that I'll show you, this is a great one, kind of very classic, is to take a bent note. Let's play in the key of A. We're going to take this bent note, and now we're going to walk this up chromatically. Check it out. Really classic lick. So it's basically like going, taking that kind of sound, but making it a little more pedal steel. You can obviously spend all kinds of time doing this in all kinds of different harmonies. It's really great. You can use dominant 7 sounds, major 7s, all your tricks You can even use some diminish and augment. Anything you can think of that typically would be prevented by moving your hand with a bent string now becomes available. So you can even do some Van Halen stuff. And then add some Southern flair to some Eddie Van Halen harmonics, right? Have fun with that. I hope you found a B-Bender out in the wild and can check it out. Alrighty guys, thanks for hanging out this week in the Woodshed. Remember to check out that Marty Stewart video on YouTube with him talking about Clarence's guitar. Also check out Ask Zach's channel regarding some history of all the other types of benders that were levers and things that went on 335s and all this kind of mess if you're still interested. Take a second if you enjoyed the video and hit subscribe, all that good stuff. For bookings and tour info, as well as to purchase TrueFire, jam play, and all that kind of good stuff, hit andywoodmusic.com. And for channel support, lessons, tabs, backing tracks, access to my weekly live Zoom masterclass, then that's going to be at patreon.com/andywoodmusic. See y'all next week.